Hello, everyone. My name is Ana Martha Ayala, and I'd like to welcome you to my YouTube channel. As a reminder, I do every video in English and Spanish, and also the degree theory is based on modern Western astrology using the Placidus house system. Now, in today's video, I wanted to talk to Leo about the planetary energies for 2025 and how it will affect Leo rising sign or Leo sun sign. I'm not calling this a horoscope because to me, a horoscope is when you sit down one-to-one with an astrologer and you do your yearly chart reading, your solar return, and your yearly predictions. So I am just going to describe from a general perspective how it might affect Leo risings and Leo sun signs, and then you see how it applies to your chart. Now, I had done a worksheet, which I am going to share with all of you. Here we go, about all the planetary ingresses and stationing and retrogrades, right? So I did a main video overall, like a mundane astrological video for 2025, and I will link it below. So if you haven't had the opportunity to watch it, then you can compare and get a better description and the dates of when the planets are going to ingress into the signs. Now, Mercury will go retrograde March 15th, 2025 at 9 degrees of Aries, and it will station at 9 degrees of Aries for a few days. In my monthly reports, I will give you the exact dates, I will give you the Mercury shadow period, etc. But I wanted to describe to you what stationing means. From our viewpoint, when a planet is going direct and it's moving forward, let's say, so then it stops or it stations and then decides to turn back to go retrograde. At least that's the way we see it. The planets never do go back, but that's our view from here on Earth. So when a planet stations, it either goes retrograde, and then when it stops going retrograde to go direct, it stations again. So it will station again to go direct on April 7th of 2025 at 26 degrees of Pisces. So anyone having planets in Aries or Pisces at these degrees will get extra benefits from Mercury. Or if you have any planets in your natal chart that either conjunct, square, have an opposition, or have a trine to these degrees, plus or minus 3 degrees, if you really want to push it 5 degrees, but I like to keep the orb tight, then Mercury is going to be in conversation with those planets. So if it's a square in opposition, it'll be a little bit challenging. The square is the biggest challenge of all the aspects. Um, and the trine is the most favorable one. Okay, so you need to see how this planet is going to aspect your natal chart. All right. So the second retrograde for Mercury will happen July 18th at 2025, 15 degrees of Leo is where it's going to station, and it's going to go direct August 11th of 2025 at 4 degrees of Leo. And then the last retrograde for Mercury for 2025 is November 9th, 2025 at 6 degrees of Sag, and it'll go direct on November 29th at 2025 at 20 degrees of Scorpio. Now, let's say you have a natal Venus that's close to here. So what can happen? Mercury, communication, there can be maybe some romantic communication. Maybe you get an email from an ex, or you get you're doing an online dating thing, and you start getting you know, emails from a potential love connection, or there could be somebody in business because Venus is love and money. So that's what I mean. You have to look at your natal chart to see if Mercury is aspecting Mars, then you got to be careful with car accidents. and such. So I hope you guys get the idea. Now, Venus is going to go retrograde March 2nd, 2025 at 10 degrees of Aries. And then it will go direct April 13th of 2025 at 24 degrees of Pisces. Mars will retrograde December 6th of 2024. So it starts this year. On at 6 degrees of Leo, and it will turn direct February 24th of 2025 at 16 degrees of Cancer, 17 degrees of Cancer, I'm sorry. Now, Jupiter, this one is really important. I mean, all of them are important, but it's specifically Jupiter because it'll give you more opportunities, more blessings, more benefits, okay? So Jupiter is going to retrograde on October 10th, 2024 at 21 degrees of Gemini, and it will go direct on February 24th, 2025 at 11 degrees of Gemini. So anybody that has any aspects to Jupiter in Gemini. So for Libra and Aquarius, this will be very beneficial because it's a trine, okay? Now, plus or minus 3 degrees, you guys are going to get extra goodies from Jupiter. The two benefics are Venus and Jupiter, and the two malefics are Mars and Saturn. So Venus and Jupiter gives, they give you nice things for the most part. And then Mars and Saturn, they give you lessons and difficulties, or maybe energy. Mars can also give you energy to do that, to do something. And Saturn can give you the perseverance to follow through. So, I mean, they're not always bad, but they are called the two malefics. Now, Saturn will retrograde on July 13th of 2025 at 10 degrees of Aries, and it will turn direct November 28th of 2025 at 25 degrees of Pisces. So Saturn can give you extra lessons for people that have planets around these degrees plus or minus 3 degrees. All right. And like I said in the monthly reports, I'll give you the exact dates of how long, because Jupiter and Saturn will station for weeks. Mars, maybe like 10 days or so. Venus, about a week. Mercury is really quick, just a few days. All right. And then Uranus is going to go retrograde September 2nd, 2024 at 27 degrees of Taurus. And then it will go direct on January 30th, 2025 at 23 degrees of Taurus. Now, here in the middle, we're going to have the fixed star called Algol, which astrologers call it the demon star. And we all know what happened in July of 2024. So Uranus is going to go back to that 26 degrees. And then once it goes direct, it'll be the third and last hit, which will happen, I believe, around March 19th, around there, if I remember correctly. So March of 2025 is going to be an intense month. I'm letting you know now. Not necessarily for Leo, but since you're one of the fixed signs and Taurus is a fixed sign, you're going to have a square from Uranus. So pay attention. If you have any planets in Taurus, any planets in Leo, Aquarius, or Scorpio, at these degrees, you will get a hit from Uranus again. So whatever happened in July of this year, of 2024, chances are the subject might come up again. Now, Neptune will go retrograde July 4th of 2025 at 2 degrees of Aries, and then it will turn direct December 10th of 2025 at 29 degrees of Pisces. So Neptune again is going to conjunct a fixed star called Sheet. And again, there is danger in the ocean during this period. So if you guys are planning a vacation at the beach, going on a cruise, or something having to do with the water, be aware that, to take extra measures, wear your lifesaver, right? Don't just put it on, snap it on. Make sure that you take the precautions necessary to enjoy whatever you're doing, whether it's the jet ski or skiing on the water, whatever it is that you guys do, or surfing or whatever, that you guys have a good time, but you take the precautions necessary, just in case something happens. Now, floods, rainstorms, hurricanes, tsunamis, these are all on the table and they're going to be intense. All right. Now, Pluto. Pluto goes retrograde May 4th, 2025 at 3 degrees of Aquarius, and it will go direct on October 14th, 2025 at 1 degree of Aquarius. Now, for you, Leo, this transit of Pluto is really important if you are one of the really early rising signs or sun signs. It depends on where your sun is, but you are having an opposition for Pluto. So Pluto is the planet of transformation. So if it's, for example, if it's opposing your Leo moon, make sure that your mom is okay. Make sure that your grandmother is okay. If it's your sun, be mindful of your energy. Don't overextend yourself, take it slow during the period, don't overtax yourself, right? If it's Venus, well then, maybe you can meet somebody that's really, it's like a passionate, obsessive type of relationship, right? Maybe jealousy too. Hopefully it's just passionate, right? But Pluto Mars is something that you have to be careful with because there could be a really, really bad accident. So for Leo, keep an eye on Pluto and how close it's going to come to your degree, because it's going to stay there for a while. It'll stay there for like at least 18 months, maybe a couple of years. Pluto is going to be in Aquarius for 20 years. So it will stay at a given degree for a little bit of time. All right. So, all right. So this is basically what I wanted to go through with Leo. And now I am going to tell you what I think 2025 you know, will give for you. So Leo is ruled by the sun. The sun and the moon are the only two planets that do not retrograde. So you guys are always moving forward. Okay. So Leo is one of the most beautiful or handsome signs or people of the zodiac. They have a lot of hair, um, but they have a strong ego and they need to be the center of attention. Some of the women that I've known that are Leo like to be the drama queen, and even some of the men, to be honest. So these Leo is the second of three signs that are considered to be leaders. Okay, according to the degree theory, you're the second sign. We're talking about Aries, Leo, and Capricorn. Those are the three leadership signs according to the degree theory. Leos make great parents, especially the women. Leos are great at ordering people. Oh my goodness. They'll say, you do this, you do that, you do the other thing, and I'll sit here and watch and make sure that everything is done correctly. So this is what Leo comprises. It's very there. I think it's a very interesting sign. So anyway, for you, Neptune is going into the ninth house, which is great because it trines your ascendant. So this is one of the most favorable houses to have, um, Neptune in. So your focus can be on religion, spirituality, philosophy, your beliefs, right? The what you think or how your philosophy of life, basically. Maybe you want to take a long distance trip via water because it's Neptune, a cruise or a beach vacation. So you're one of the people that have to watch out for that Neptune, right? Conjoining sheet again. Now you can decide to study religion or if not in good aspects, then maybe you can actually drop out of the university because ninth house is university studies, or maybe you can decide to change majors, all complete a completely different route that you want to take. Now, Saturn is also going to be ingressing in the ninth house. So with this transit, travel can be for work because Saturn is the natural ruler of the 10th house. You can become more disciplined in your spiritual practice because Saturn is all about discipline and structure. Your views on religion can become very conservative as well. University students can become very serious about their studies or decide to just stop and drop out or change something to something completely different. Like I said, Saturn in the ninth is an okay house to have it in because it trines the ascendant and it doesn't make a lot of impact. Saturn in other houses can be something to be reckoned with. So Uranus is going to ingress into your 11th house, which this is a great transit because Uranus is the natural ruler of the 11th house, so it has a little extra oomph here, right? So you can make new friends, although some of your old friends may leave because Uranus, wherever Uranus is, it will create changes all of a sudden. So there can be changes in your friends' lives too. Maybe one of your friends has a baby, or the new people coming in can be very unique, like different, completely some if you have a certain type of friend, then Uranus being there will be totally different. The people that are going to come into your space. Also, your social life will change. You could be a lot more active. You can join new groups, um, you know, go out with other people. Your hopes and dreams. The 11th house also deals with hopes and dreams can change. You can have new ones, new hopes, new dreams that um, you want to accomplish. And the 11th house also rules retirement. So with Uranus in the 11th house, you may decide to retire. The lunar nodes are going to be changing from Aries and Libra to Pisces and Virgo. So the North Node will ingress into the eighth house, January 12th, 2025. And then the South Node is in your second house. So with the North Node in the eighth, your focus is going to be on your partner's resources. If you don't have a partner, then, or in addition to, you are going to be focusing on investments, on debt. You're going to be reviewing your budget. You're going to try to pay off your debts. You are going to be more focused on money management. There can be inheritances, commissions, bonuses that come in because the eighth house rules lump sums of money. They could be a divorce settlement or maybe back alimony or back child support that comes in. Um, play a couple of lottery tickets every once in a while if you have Venus or Jupiter in the eighth house. Once these lunar nodes get close to that Venus or Jupiter degree within 3 degrees or so, try your luck. Just a couple of tickets. If you're going to win it, then that's great. And if you have aspects of Jupiter to Pluto in your natal chart, then that means that you could potentially become a millionaire. But if not, the Venus and Jupiter have extra luck together. So be mindful of that. And it's going to happen. There's a conjunction of Venus and Jupiter um, in August. I think it's August 6th to August 10th. So look around, those dates. You are one of the signs that can potentially, maybe win $100 or something like that. So, Remember that the eclipses are fated. So anything that happens in the eighth house or the second house, it's meant to happen. Now, with a south node in the second house, be careful at work. South node means that we leave something behind. We can lose something. So we could lose a job. We could lose work. Or your pattern of earning income changes. So, um, let's say you're an hourly employee, well, then they may make you a salary employee. Or if you're a salary employee, maybe you become commission, you work on commission, something like that. So there can be a lack of financial security just with a south node in Virgo. Now, Pluto in the seventh house, um, this one's this one's interesting. Okay. You may meet someone who transforms you in a long-term relationship, because seventh house is long-term relationships in love or business. Okay, so you may acquire a new partner in your business. It also rules legal cases as well. So if it's love, it can be a very passionate, obsessive person that you meet. Hopefully, it'll be just passionate and not obsessive because it's Pluto. Um, if you're currently in a long-term relationship, either a legal marriage, with the papers and everything, or you are living together with someone for an extended period of time, it's like a marriage, but you're missing the legal documents, then the relationship will go through a transformation. It can become deeper, closer. You can even decide to have a baby together, like really commit to each other, right? Or you can grow apart and get divorced or break up, depending on, what your status is. So there can be a loss of a partner in love or business that relates to death as well, because Pluto is the ruler of Scorpio and Scorpio rules death. So these are basically the planetary energies for Leo. And I hope you found this information useful. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and send it to maybe another Leo that would like to hear this information. As always, if you want a natal chart reading with me, please send me an email to amaastrology@aol.com. Leo, many blessings to you in 2025. I hope that you just get all the benefits from all these transits, but listen to the video and just pay careful attention to what your natal chart says. And I wish you the best.